Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. Again, this is just general share advice and not personal advice. So, pretty quick, I think, today. We've got Ask the Analyst live. I've got the brilliant Claude Walker. He's going to be with me at 12 o'clock. Don't miss it. He's great. Get your questions ready. Let's look at the charts. Let's decide what we're going to do. Don't get, like I said, this is just general share advice, not personal. Don't, I'm going to talk about that in a second, actually, but don't get too excited at the moment with the market. I know it's had a nice. If you can have a look at the Dow, what often they say, when you're going down, it's two steps down, one step up, one step up, two steps down, one step up, and so far this week a little step up, which great. Take advantage of it if you're doing a few trends. I think it's helping some of those sort of coal stocks and some of these stories, which where some of the guys are making money in lithium, keeping a bit of momentum in those sort of stories. But just understand this is very normal. I'll go back to maybe a recent crash where you can see sort of very normal. One step down, one step up, one step down, one step up, bigger steps down. Then you just see this all the time. A few steps up, down, a few steps up and down. So yeah, the market's tough. The market's going lower unless there's some possibly really amazing event that's going to happen. And so I think everyone has to really trade and be very careful out there. Um, Obviously, it's a sad day. The Queen dying, and long, what a fantastic Queen she was. So I think that's going to be in the news a lot over the next few days, and I think the world's going to miss her a lot. What a great lady she was. Um, so there's not really too much news today, and what I can say is Ramsey Healthcare, that takeover is at the moment obviously not happening. That's been cancelled. It's still trading above trend, but I think if I was in that and I was in it for maybe, hopefully for a takeover, I'd be getting out of it. I think there's better stocks to be in. Uh, Mineral Resources was in the news that they're going to um, separate their possibly lithium assets in the USA to give more value to the company. Now, Macquarie's come out and put a value around $75 on this. I think it's really take profits time for me around this sort of level. Maybe if it gets up to a little bit higher, I think it. What did it reach earlier in the day? It did reach as high as 72, and I think for me it's definitely I'd be looking to sort of take profits if I had some. It's up 11% today. Um, what I just want to have a look quickly. We've just before I talk about a few stocks I think that are interesting. We're trying to always make every story better and improve the service that we're giving. And we understand a lot of you just can't watch every single daily video, and you've got busy lives, and some of you just want to go to straight away to the stocks that interest you. So what we've done now, if you actually click on the daily video on the side, those little squares here. Oh, sorry, I'm talking again. Um, if you click on those squares there and you basically click these chapters, it can take you now the system exactly maybe to a share that you want to listen to or something you're interested. If you're interested in China or Dow Jones or certain stock, it can take you straight to the point in the video. Um, it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to set that up every day, but I think it's much better. I'll go over this again really slowly. You click on those three little bars there, and you click on them again, and it all comes up. So very simple, but I think obviously a much better service, and you can get to the heart of the matter pretty quickly. Um, Two stocks I think look interesting, and it is a really quiet day today, but there's two stocks that all we're looking for is when we get in this difficult market, two stocks that we might be able to make some money on. Um, the first one is AZJ, and now it's a dividend play, so arguably maybe put it on a monthly chart. Um, and what you'd think really recently with East Coast Rail and all the coal being shipped by rail. I mean, this company should be doing reasonably well at the moment. Um, what's interesting, the current price is around 372. it gives an excellent dividend of I'll give you the exact dividend here. So I did write this about 6.74%. It's on a P of 13 times, so it's not expensive. Um, but potentially there's a little bit of upside on this story. And I'll just read to you what Credit Suisse says about it. It says Credit Suisse reinstates coverage on Horizon Holdings following a period of research restriction. So most probably they're involved in doing some raise for them. So there's a bit of friendship there. And that can work two ways. It can either mean they may be a little bit biased or they know a lot about the story and that maybe they see maybe where the value is. The broker notes Horizon Holdings plans to divest its East Coast Rail asset to alleviate concerns about its One Rail acquisition, which Credit Suisse estimates could achieve a demerger value of 960 million or more in the case of a trade sale. The broker expects higher proceeds in the East Coast Rail divestment, as well as a higher regulatory weighted average cost of capital and coal margin recovery to be potential catalysts for the stock price. So they've reiterated that this is an outperform with a target price around 460. So potentially as a story, they can give you a nice little dividend, but with some upside. Maybe this could suit some people's, what some people are looking for. Like I said, we're going to a really, really tough period. But maybe a story like this, which is pretty stable, doesn't sort of move around too much. You're getting a good dividend, but there's a potential upside of roughly maybe 23. I think roughly that is around 23%. Well, I think it's well worth having a look at. The other one I think we could have a look at is little DEG. Now, it actually doesn't look too bad on the monthly, but I'm going to go back to the weekly because this is a small cap. We want to see it do a little bit more, and it's starting to, isn't it? And really, we're talking like maybe the gold price could be a place that could potentially do well. We just want to see the gold price form a base where it is now and start turning. It is starting to turn, so it looks good, and maybe if we can get DEG over 1.1415, possibly it's starting to look pretty good. I think the interesting thing, Macquarie have come out with an outperform on the stock with its target price around this 160, 165. So they think it should more or less go up and retouch those highs. And I'll read you what Macquarie is saying about it. They say DEG has released its pre-feasibility study for its Molina project. Macquarie notes the study is a material uplift from the scoping study with total gold production of 6.4 million ounces, up 49% from previous estimates. Macquarie notes mine life has extended 14% to 13.6 years, with production in the first 5 years lifted to 16% to 550,000 ounces. Pre-production costs lifted 18% to 1.053 million, and all-in sustaining costs for the first 5 years lifted 10% to 1,220 per ounce, which isn't too bad for those all-in sustaining costs. They've got an outperform in it, and what I'd say, if you're looking at a gold story, I mean, have a look at DEG. It could be a play. I just like to see it get over 1.5, 1.6, and if it can do that, then and we see gold doing well, I think it's well worth a buy and well worth having a look at. Just before I go, I thought I'd maybe have a quick look at the some of the stocks we're trending at the moment. We put some trends out recently, and I think VRS looks pretty good, and it's doing exactly what we want. But again, very lightly traded, but nice sort of price action. MMS also, again, looking very good and holding up, and I think looking like a good trend. And remember, Equity Store, what I'm trying to do is just pick the stocks where they looks like there is momentum. PWR, yeah, it's having its little moves up, isn't it? But still, for us, it's I think I'd still be holding that. PPE, some strong dividend plays, a little bit down, and so is SHG. SHJ is paying a dividend at the end of this month, so for me, I'd still be holding it. BRI has given us actually a little bit of an opportunity now to get in. We remember we said don't pay more than 220. It's actually come down to 220. So hopefully, again, so lightly traded. Hopefully, a few of us can get some stock in that. XRF looking very, very good and obviously going through the trend quite nicely, as is ASG looking pretty strong. NHF as well, I think that looks absolutely fine. Just coming down, just retesting halfway through that candle. But again, you know, it's looks okay. And PFG, a little bit volatile, isn't it? Look at that price action. But again, I think looking absolutely fine. So pretty happy with those recent trades that we put on. Some of those are really sort of good dividend players as well. And yeah, tough market. And but like I said, opportunities. This I think sometime in the next maybe I think November. If I think this crash or this strong pullback in the market could happen September, October. I think there's a good chance November, might be January. Um, Hopefully, it's going to be a fantastic time to buy stories at some great prices. I don't think there's ever been a better time to look at getting long. I mean, this is when you've got to get really excited with these markets. The world is in a bit of a mess. You know what it does? It gives those clever traders, those people that are saying to themselves, I'm going to keep a little bit of cash on the side. It gives them the opportunity to come up and clean up, and hopefully we're going to get that opportunity. Like I always say at Equity Story, we'll follow the charts. The charts never lie, and if we're wrong, we'll most probably get more bullish again. But at the moment, the charts look pretty bad, and we often call it the sort of little bit of if you look at the Dow, just starting, are we, to get that waterfall effect, and you can really see this coming down a lot lower. Um, just before I go, I just wanted to give you some of you guys as a website called Finviz. And this is a little bit of a hint to some of those traders out there. And our job is always to help and look at ideas. They've got the S&P 500, and it's quite good. They sort of box it very nicely like this. And I think you can go to like year-to-date performance. And what this does, it gives me a really great setup, and I can see all the areas of the Dow, of the S&P 500, most of the big American stocks. Really, where can I make the money at the moment? What's looking good? And you can see Apple and Microsoft and Google all being, NVDA, all being absolutely smacked this year. But what it does do very clearly in the bright green shows me the areas which are looking really bullish. And we in the old days used to use this website a lot when we were trading. I use it Equity Story to try and look at the stocks which are looking bullish. But basically, by looking at the charts, you can see which sectors are doing well and which sectors are most likely easiest, where you're going to get buy signals, you're going to get bullish signals, and there's most probably that where you can make some money. And you can see things like XOM, CVX, COP, all these sort of stories, some of the agriculture stories, the healthcare, some of the healthcare sectors have done really well. But a little tip there for you traders out there and you mums and dads that maybe play in the American market. If you want to make your life simple, use this website. It's called Finviz, and just expand this chart, and it's going to give you a tremendous help. It's actually quite good also. It gives you the futures here, and happy to see at the moment those futures are slightly up. And gold, yeah, just finding a little bit of a base. So watch out, maybe we might see a few gold stories on our sides on the weekend. On that note, thank you listening to Equity Story, and I've got the brilliant. I think him and the Wolf. We're so lucky to have both of them. Wolf's on holiday. I'm just really pleased to have the Claude, who's again a tremendous analyst, at 12 o'clock for RC Analyst Live. Be there. Thank you. Bye bye.